In 2026, Cristiano Ronaldo stands as football's first true billionaire, with an estimated net worth of $1.4 billion. But here's the surprising part. Most people think they know Cristiano Ronaldo. They know the goals, the trophies, and the records. What they don't know is the empire that exists beyond the football pitch. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the extraordinary life of the man behind the legend. And perhaps nowhere is that empire more visible than the place he now calls home. His lifestyle is the living embodiment of the fortress. His latest masterpiece, completed in 2026 in Portugal's prestigious Quinta da Marinha, is a $40 million retirement sanctuary. Sitting on a 12,000 square meter plot, this minimalist fortress spans 5,000 square meters of living space. It is a statement in stone and glass, featuring Italian marble, gold-plated fixtures, a Louis Vuitton custom mural, and a 20-car garage designed to house his hypercar collection. With its glass-bottomed infinity pool, professional spa, and private cinema, it isn't just a home. It is a monument to a career that conquered the world. Yet even that architectural masterpiece is only the beginning. To truly understand the scale of the Cristiano empire, you have to step inside his Temple of Speed, a garage valued at over $30 million. At the absolute pinnacle of this collection sits the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, an $18 million one-off hypercar defined by its carbon fiber body and raw, 1,500 horsepower intensity. Flanked by the mechanical fury of the Bugatti Senadai, a $9 million masterpiece limited to just 10 units worldwide as a tribute to the EB110. This pair represents the rarest, most exclusive tier of automotive engineering. Nestled nearby is the Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse, a $2.2 million icon that reminds us of his earliest milestones in performance. Moving from the hypercars to the track-focused legends, the Ferrari Monza SP2 stands out as a $1.8 million speedster. Its open-pit design is a daring testament to pure, naturally aspirated V12 power. Parked next to this Italian masterpiece is the $1.2 million McLaren Senna, a machine sculpted for extreme aerodynamics and performance. And for those moments when raw track intensity meets everyday elegance, he keeps the $550,000 Ferrari F12 TDF and the aggressive, sharp-edged $450,000 Lamborghini Aventador LP 700-4. Rounding out this curated gallery of performance are his daily drivers, the machines that balance his need for utility with his demand for luxury. He commands the roads in the $400,000 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a bespoke sanctuary on wheels, while the $250,000 Mercedes-AMG GE63 Brabus provides rugged, celebrity-grade presence. Beside them sits the $250,000 Bentley Continental GT Speed, a British Grand Tourer that offers elegance in every mile. But the empire doesn't stop at the garage door. To navigate a world that never sleeps, Ronaldo commands the seas and the skies with a mobility fleet worth over $150 million. On the water, he retreats to the Azimut Grande 27 Metri, an 88-foot sanctuary of Italian craftsmanship. With a jacuzzi on the flybridge, a custom display case for his horological collection, and spacious suites for his family, it is a floating palace that dominates the coastlines of Ibiza and Madeira. When the horizon calls from further afield, he commands a dual-jet air superiority fleet. His $73 million Gulfstream G650, a masterclass in engineering, offers Mach 0.925 speed for his transatlantic shuttles. Flanking it is the $81 million Bombardier Global Express XRS. These aren't just planes. They are customized offices and recovery suites. His watch collection is a vault of horological supremacy, featuring the rarest Jacob & Company Bugatti Chiron custom pieces, diamond-encrusted Frank Mullers, and iconic Rolex Daytona variants, each a timekeeper for a man who lives by the second. By 2026, Ronaldo had won league titles in England, Spain, and Italy, lifted multiple Champions League trophies, become international football's all-time leading scorer, and inspired an entire generation to believe that talent alone was never enough. Discipline became his trademark long before luxury ever was. Away from the records and the roaring stadiums. However, there's another side to Cristiano Ronaldo, a man anchored by an unbreakable human foundation. His life with his fiancée, Georgina Rodríguez. He is a devoted father to 5 children. In a life of extreme noise, he has cultivated a private reality where the GOAT is simply a father, shielding his legacy from the public while preparing his children to navigate a world that carries his name. Today, Ronaldo no longer represents just football. He represents an industry built on relentless ambition. Every goal, every trophy, and every business decision has transformed him from a gifted teenager on the streets of Madeira into one of the most recognizable athletes in history. Even as the roar of packed stadiums begins to fade into the background, his empire continues to grow at a pace that rivals the career that created it. His humanitarian footprint has become a profoundly intentional part of his legacy. Through his work with Save the Children, UNICEF, and his own charitable endeavors, he has ensured that his wealth serves as a ladder, not just a wall. He understands that while records are meant to be broken, the impact he leaves on the next generation is meant to be permanent. Yet, for all his continental conquests, his international career faced its own harsh realities. His final World Cup campaigns brought a different kind of challenge, a gradual transition from the focal point of the attack to a more measured, veteran presence. It was a period of transition that didn't just test his physical limits, but his ego, proving that even for the man who conquered everything, the final descent from the international spotlight was a hurdle he had to face with grace. He didn't just play the game. He turned the game into a mirror of his own ambition. From the dusty streets of Madeira to the neon-lit skyscrapers of the global elite, every step was a climb, and every goal was a message. As we look at him in 2026, the story isn't about the trophies, though his cabinet is the heaviest in history. It's about the fact that he arrived in football with nothing but a dream, and he leaves it as the man who forced the world to acknowledge that greatness isn't a gift. It's a choice you make every single day.